If you're a fan of any of the Souls games, if you're a fan of FromSoft, or if Elden Ring will be your first Souls game, then I am sure that you have watched, rewatched, and enjoyed the 15-minute gameplay reveal that was released today. After so much silence from publishers and developers releasing a single screenshot per week as a way to sustain our expectations, we finally get to see the game in action, in full glory. We have seen movement, combat, platforming, dungeons, legacy dungeons, crafting, consumables, the map, spells, weapon arts, stealth, co-op, bosses, NPCs, and of course, bonfires, or as they're called in Elden Ring, sites of grace. There is so much information packed within these 15 minutes that it will take me days, and possibly weeks, to review, organize, and present it all. But time is all we have, at least until February 25th, 2022. You may call me crazy, overzealous, or maybe a tad bit forward, and that's okay, but I have a very strong feeling that we are in the presence of 2022's Game of the Year. There are many mechanical reveals and implications in this gameplay release. I love mechanical information. I know the options that we will have available, the stats, the frames, the numbers, all of it. But this requires the largest amount of time to discover. I will definitely go over these 15 minutes frame by frame and collect as much information on the game's mechanics as I can discern. But for now, in this first video of many, I want to just enjoy how the game looks and the feel that we get from this gameplay. We know that Elden Ring is a Souls game because it is created by FromSoft, the father of Souls games. But even if we had no idea that FromSoft was making this game, you would still know it. This game simply exudes Souls. You see this game, you hear this game, and you know it is Souls. The feeling you get from this game just by watching some gameplay is unmistakably Souls. As soon as the gameplay begins, we can see two very important things. First of all, the sheer beauty of the lands between, and second, the fact that the Tarnished is wielding a greatsword, what may be the iconic weapon of the Souls, the Claymore. Now, this is a topic where everybody has their own opinion, and I respect that, but I just want to say that greatswords are the best. Do I have evidence of this? Not really, but I also do not have any doubts. Focusing on the lands between, yes, it is a war-ridden place filled with misery, pain, and suffering, but none of that removes from the beauty of the Erdtree, the grasslands that we travel through, and the seamless transition from walking to horse travel with a single whistle. While we are in a land filled with despair, we still receive the warm welcome and glow of the Erdtree. Symbolized by the many sites of grace that we will find, the Erdtree is our safe haven. It is our guide, and it is our salvation. As Tarnished, we abide by the grace of gold, or at least that is our purpose. We used to be blessed by the grace of gold, but it did abandon us, turning us into the Tarnished. Now, after the shattering, we are called back by it, but it is up to us to decide whether we follow its guidance, or our very own path. Regardless of what you decide, you will soon find out that the lands between are not empty at all. Broken down structures litter the grasslands and mountains. You will see that there are unfortunate souls lifted up in crosses throughout your travels. And, of course, there are also others who live their lives as they can. Some of them can be friendly, others simply neutral. Some may need our help, and some are simply there to destroy us. One of the most exciting things that we have seen in these 15 minutes of gameplay are the field bosses. Throughout the gameplay, we can see in detail two field bosses in actions. The dragon and
My name is Kyobu Masataka Oniwa!
These are enemies with the power and size of bosses that can appear and attack the Tarnished as they travel the lands between. Honestly, it is uncertain at this time to know if these field bosses are scripted in certain areas of the map, or if they are traveling and you can catch up to them, or maybe they catch up to you. Maybe they are completely random. Nevertheless, the experience of having to worry about a powerful foe while traveling to your next destination is certainly very interesting. The best part of it all is that these field bosses do not seem like they are just large mobs. They do not seem like mini-bosses. They look, feel, and attack like true bosses in their own right. It looks like they got their own mechanics to deal with. The dragon has flight and flame breath, meaning that the Tarnished will have to employ anti-air techniques and have fast mobility in order to dodge the flames. Horseback is probably recommended for this fight in order to keep up with the dragon's movement. On the other hand, Gyobu here also has good mobility, but the biggest issue he presents is the reach of his attacks on horseback. Maybe you can try to even the odds with mounted combat, but we see here that the Tarnished employs a spear, a weapon with reach, as well as properly timed jump attacks in order to stagger the boss. If these field bosses are static, then we will have time to properly prepare for them as soon as we understand their positioning. But if they can come at us at any point in time, then it will truly be a challenge to survive any possible surprise attacks. Fortunately, not everyone is immediately hostile. Sometimes NPCs may actually require our help.
Hello? Can you hear me?
This giant potman is Alexander, and Mr. Alexander finds himself in quite the pickle. Being stuck to the ground and unable to move, he requires our help to be set free. We can do that, or we cannot. The choice is ultimately ours, but it is good to know that not everything wants to kill us and that sometimes friendships can be made along the way. Alexander can be seen as silly, but he is a very welcome break from the usual hostility and danger that the lands between can offer. We do not know the purpose of Alexander. He could be an NPC with his own story. He could be a merchant that we unlock by helping him. Whatever the case may be, I find him to be a fantastic addition that will most likely be a fan favorite among all the NPCs. The beautiful scenery, the different encounters, the field bosses, the NPCs that may require our aid, and the mounted travel all provide a fantastic setting that brings the true feeling that all Souls provide. A dangerous world with its own beauty, and different encounters that show both its most dangerous side and its most human. This is the lands between. As Tarnished, this used to be our home. We are now back, and we got nothing except the grace of gold. I cannot wait to be a part of this world. I cannot wait to be Tarnished. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope I get to see you on the next one.